Runecraft is a sacred power said to have existed since the dawn of mankind. The chosen ones born with runecraft defied the natural order with supernatural might. They reigned as leaders of all things. Under the rule of the chosen ones, the ancient people praised runecraft as a blessing bestowed by the gods. It was hailed as a miracle. However, among the countless runes in existence, there was one rune treated as a curse. This was the Azura rune. The scene shifts, and we see a boy with the Azura rune on his back running. The boy was heavily injured, and he had several arrows sticking out of him. He was running away from some people. The people asked him to stop. After seeing that he had gotten far away from them, they asked him to never show his face in their town. They called the boy a monster. The angry mob watched him as he ran into the snowfield. Even after getting away from the mob, the boy did not stop running. He didn't know where he was going, but he kept moving. He knew that he would die if he stopped moving. Since ancient times, those born with the Azura rune have always brought ruin to the world. At daybreak, the poor boy eventually collapsed out of exhaustion. He was bleeding out on the cold snow. Before he lost consciousness, he saw a blurry image of some people running towards him. The people seemed to be shocked to see someone covered in blood. Unfortunately for the boy, he couldn't move again. A man and his family moved close to him. The man asked his daughter and wife to use their runecraft to heal the boy. The poor boy lost consciousness before he could say anything. 7 years later, we are taken to a village. We see an old man and some people telling two men that there is no one with the Azura rune in their village. He reminded them that they have already looked through every shack in the village. He told them that it is time for them to get lost. The bald man and his comrade turned around. The bald man said that they are leaving. He told the old man that he is loud. After leaving the village, the two men went to report to their superior. The bald man informed him that there aren't any rune casters in the region. Their superior stretched out his hand and asked the bald man to move closer to him. When the man moved close to him, the superior shoved his hand into his body and crushed his intestines. The bald man spat out a large amount of blood. His comrade was shocked to see this. He screamed and called out to him. The superior watched as the bald man fell to the ground. He said that it is impossible for people like them, who have no runecraft or mana, to find his target. The being with the razor-sharp teeth said that he can smell it. He said that he can smell the reek of ruin. Later in the day, we see two people call out to some people known as Van and Linda. They told this two people that the two men are gone. Van and Linda came out of a tree trunk when they heard this. They were relieved to be finally able to catch their breath. The people that called out to them were the couple that saved our boy 7 years ago, and Linda is their daughter. The boy with long black hair is our protagonist. His name is Van. Van apologized to Linda's father for making the weird people come there again. The man smiled and told him that no one around there cares about that. His wife gently touched Van and Linda and told them that they are covered in dust. She asked them about why they always hide down there. Linda smiled and said that Van likes it there. Van smiled and turned to the tree. He revealed to them that this is where they saved him 7 years ago. He said that this is his favorite place in the whole village. Linda's father placed his arm around his neck and called him a precious kid. He turned to his wife and asked her about how the wedding preparation is going. She informed him that she is done. She said that they will start as soon as the sun sets. Later in the night, we see everyone gather around a large campfire in the forest. They designed the trees with lanterns. Van nervously stood in front of the fire. He wore a headband made out of leaves. He was standing in front of Linda. The girl seemed to be very happy. Her father told the two of them that they are now husband and wife. He asked them to say their vows in front of everyone. Linda told the people that she will make sure her husband is dried and happy so that he will forget how to cry. The villagers began to cheer for her. Van apologized to them for putting them in a tough spot again today. At the villages Van passed through, plagues, wars, massacres, and disasters never ended. Wherever he went, the screams of pain and despair followed. The poor boy couldn't settle down anywhere. If the villagers hadn't taken Van in, he would have died 7 years ago. Our boy told the people that he is not certain if it is okay for them to accept someone with the Azura rune. The moment he said this, Linda gave him a heavy punch on his face and asked him to shut up. Van fell to the ground when he received the punch. Linda told him that they would have never accepted him if they were really scared of him. She revealed to him that they were actually worried when they first met him 7 years ago. However, when a real crisis hit the village, he protected all of them by himself. Linda told her husband that they already decided not to worry anymore. She smiled and assured him that they will get through any crisis that comes at them together like they did in the past. The villagers laughed and told Van that they will protect him for life. One of them said that he is too soft. He wondered about how he was going to handle a girl like Linda. Van stood up and faced his wife. Linda's mom told them that they need to finish the wedding. Van told the girl that he loves her. Linda told him that she loves him too. They gently kissed after saying this. Immediately they did this. The mysterious being appeared. He released his energy and said that he feels like crying. The moment he said this, a large explosion took place in the forest. When Van opened his eyes, he saw his hands covered in blood. When he raised his head up, Van saw something horrifying. The ground was filled with dead bodies. Everyone was covered in blood. Van fell to the ground and screamed out. He couldn't comprehend what was happening. He didn't understand why this was happening now. He was horrified to see the sea of bodies in front of him. He saw Linda's father, whose name is Partel, lying on the ground. He called out to her dead mother, whose name is Kara. Van did not know what to do. He stretched his hand out in fear. He said that he doesn't know what is happening. Immediately he said this. The mysterious being appeared behind him and greeted him. Van was shocked to hear his voice. The man gave him a punch that sent him flying. Van hit his body on the ground and slammed his back on a tree. The man dragged Linda's injured body on the ground and sang a song about Van hiding his Azura rune. He said that all hidden things will show eventually. Van asked him about who he is. He asked him about why he is doing this to them. The man told him that he doesn't need to know the reason. He told Van that he has business with him. He revealed to Van that there is someone who needs the true ruin of his Azura rune. He told him that he wiped out every nearby village thoroughly because survivors will be annoying to take care of. Van was shocked to hear this. The man assured him that this is nothing personal. He said that he is just doing what he was told. He asked Van not to hate him too much. Immediately he said this. He covered our boy with his energy. He revealed to him that this is a pocket dimension prison prepared for him by someone. He explained to him that 1,000 years or 10,000 years doesn't mean much in the prison. He told Van that he will let him out when the time comes. He asked him to wait and be good. He told Van that he actually doesn't know when the time will be. Van stretched out his hand, but the branches created by the man's energy held him down. He quickly turned to his wife. He saw Linda moving her mouth. She was telling him something. She gently smiled after talking to him. Van stretched out his hand when he saw her smile. Unfortunately for him, the pocket dimension prison wasn't going to let him go. Tears poured out of his eyes as the pocket dimension prison closed up. The prison took the shape of a sphere and locked Van in its dimension. Inside the prison world, we see Van lying lifeless on a huge rock. He wondered about what the man meant when he talked about the true ruin. Van always wanted to believe that there was more to his life other than a single rune. He realized that there was never a way out for him from the very start. He told himself that his very existence only brought ruin and death. He realized that there was never a way for him to escape this fate. He wondered if Partel, Kara, and Linda would have survived if he just accepted his fate a little earlier. For the first time in his life, he wanted to believe that things would be different. He wanted to try living a normal life. Van told himself that his vain hope and greedy wish killed everyone. Immediately he thought of this. Numerous spirits surrounded him from all angles. Van didn't move. He was too broken to do anything. He simply told the spirits that he was sorry. He said this thousands of times. He asked the deceased not to forgive him. Inside his head, Van wondered if a God exists. He wondered why God would inflict such a cruel fate upon him. He quickly realized that he is wasting his time. He wondered about what the gods could do for him now. He was quite tired. He was in so much pain. He was tired of life. He closed his eyes and hoped that he would die peacefully. The moment he did this, he remembered his wife telling him that it is not his fault. Even though blood was pouring out of her eyes, Linda still smiled and told her husband that she will love him forever. Van opened his eyes when he remembered this. He pushed himself up. His shirt tore apart and his hair grew longer. He disagreed with Linda and said that this is his fault. He opened his eyes, which had turned red, and asked himself about why he is searching for peace. He told himself that he is spouting nonsense. He couldn't believe that he wanted to end things and take the easy way out. He raised his head and screamed. He told himself that he cannot die yet because he still has something to do. With a horrifying look on his face, Van said that he still has to get revenge. He remembered the dead bodies he saw. He remembered people always telling him that the Azura rune invariably brings ruin. Van screamed and said that he doesn't care anymore. He said that no ruin can be worse than this. He remembered the man telling him that someone needs the true ruin of his rune. Van screamed and released a terrifying energy. He said that he will make the person feel the ruin by himself. He promised to show them what true ruin is. He remembered the village people and the family that took care of him. He asked them to give him a little more time. He promised to join them after he gets his revenge. In order to get his revenge, Van had to get out of this pocket dimension prison. He forced himself to stand up. The spirits in the prison materialized. They took the shape of monsters with numerous heads. They all charged at him at the same time. They told him that they are dead because of him. They asked him to die. Van released a dark energy. He promised to take his revenge even if it takes him 10,000 years. He swore with a face filled with pure hatred. The moment he did this, Van began to fight the demons. He used his hand and leg to damage and kill them. 200 years later, we see Van still fighting the monster. He was still tearing them apart after 400 years. 600 years later, we see the monsters take the shape of a huge, grotesque creature. It was a giant with thousands of heads. Van stood in front of this monster. He was still filled with pure hate. The boy who would walk the Azura path now danced in ruin. Although Van had gotten stronger, he still didn't know the true power of the Azura ruin. In the 999 year, we see Van charging at the huge, grotesque monster. The monster used its hand to slam our boy to the ground. Van stood up. He was covered in blood and filled with despair. Endless agony befell him. Yet the fire of vengeance in his heart did not go out. He charged at the monster. The monster raised its hands and smashed our boy's body on the ground. The entire dimension shook when it slammed Van to the ground. The monster raised its hand up. It was soaked in blood. Van was lying on the ground with his bones crushed. He was slowly losing consciousness. Our boy remembered asking Linda about her dream in a field. The girl told him that she wanted to become his wife and make her parents his in-laws. She said that she wants one son and one daughter. She stood up and revealed to him that she wants to get a home where he will always come back smiling. A gentle breeze blew and made the flowers move around her. Linda told him that she also wants to get a fence to keep him safe. She smiled and told Van that this is her dream. Van fully opened his eyes when he remembered this. The moment he did this, the true power of his rune got released. A crazy-looking demon smiled when this happened. Van screamed out in pain as his body pushed itself up. A dark energy got released from his body. His energy dragged some of the bodies on the ground and placed them on his body to create something. A huge explosion took place in the prison. When the smoke cleared up, we see Van in a new black armor. Our boy knew that this was the true power of ruin. The god of ruins, whose name is Azura, used the power of ruin to summon the armor known as helms. Van walked forward. He realized that no one would have died in the past if he had this power. He clenched his fist and took a stance. He smiled at the monster like a crazy person. He raised his hand and punched the air. His punch pierced the monster's stomach and sent it flying. It slammed its back on the ground. Van jumped and clenched his fist. He covered it with his energy. He activated the first manifested armament. He activated a technique known as Annihilation Fist through the armament. To use Annihilation Fist, Van is given a gauntlet imbued with the power to annihilate matter at the particle level. The destructive power of the technique depends on the user's mana. Van gave the monster a bone-shattering punch on its head. The monster grit its teeth, but it was unable to withstand Van's attack. Our boy crushed it with his fist and destroyed the ground. A large-scale explosion took place in the prison. In the outside world, we see a woman begging 3 bandits to spare her. She told them that she doesn't have any money. The bandits had already killed her husband. Their leader bent down and told her that he will simply take a few organs. The moment he said this, Van appeared behind him. Our boy's body was covered with different black lines which were left on him by his rune. He told the man that he has something to ask him. The leader turned around when he heard this. Van asked him about the year they are in. The man was surprised to hear this. He stood up and smiled. He placed his hand on Van's head and called him a curious young man. He told him that they are in the 1500 year. He asked him about why he is asking. Van didn't answer him. He was trying to calculate the time he spent in the prison. The man's comrade moved behind him and raised his weapon. The leader nodded at him when he saw this. The man slammed his mace on Van's head. Unfortunately for him, his mace shattered. Our boy wasn't even bothered about him. He realized that only 5 years has passed in the mortal world. The man was shocked to see what happened. The other bandits were also shocked to see what happened. With a scary look on his face, Van turned to the man who attacked him. He turned to the other two and gave them heavy punches. The men were unable to move. Van covered his fist with his gauntlet. He moved past the men and gave them light punches. However, these blows were too much for them. The upper halves of their bodies got blown away. Only their legs fell to the ground. The last man knew that he was dead. Van turned and called out to him. The man quickly answered him. With a smile on his face, our boy told the man that he has a question for him. On the continent of Aten, countless kingdoms have been founded there with the power of runecraft since ancient times. Among these kingdoms, there is a kingdom praised as the greatest kingdom in the history of Aten. This kingdom is the Zoe Kingdom. The Zoe Kingdom has dominated the continent as a hegemony for many years. They relied on their overwhelming military strength. The scene shifts, and we see Van showing the man an image of the mysterious man. The man informed him that the clothes worn by the mysterious man is only worn by sorcerers affiliated with the royal family of the Zoe Kingdom. Van asked him if he has really seen him. The man who was hanging on a tree smiled with broken teeth and assured our boy that he has seen the mysterious man. He said that he can't lie. Van asked him to share more details with him. The man revealed to him that a mercenary named Kezarak visited the leader, whose name is Digiol, and gave them a request 5 years ago. Kezarak said that the request came from some big shot. He told the leader that the request is nothing special. He explained to him that he needs to find someone and clear a few villages. He assured him that he will pay him a lot of money. He asked him if he will take it. Although Kezarak said that it is a big shot, the bandits did not expect it to be a sorcerer from the Zoe Kingdom. There was no reason for them to refuse, so they accepted the request immediately. Since they were bandits, this wasn't a big deal for them. They easily cleared the villages and left no traces behind. The man said that it was tough for them to burn all the corpses because there were so many. He told Van that they were still able to take care of them. After they were done with the job, Kezarak paid them and left immediately. Van asked the man if there was a girl with short orange hair among the corpses. The man said that there was. He told our boy that the girl caught his eyes instantly. He said that her corpse was probably burned too. He said that it was a shame because she was so pretty. He told Van that she would have fetched a high price if she was sold as a slave. The moment he said this, our boy remembered his wife and his in-laws. The man realized something odd. He asked Van about how he knew about the girl. The moment he said this, Van gave him a bone-shattering punch. The scene shifts, and we are taken to the bandit den known as Digiol Mountain Hideout. We see the bandits beating up slaves and moving them to different places. They locked some kids up in a wooden cell. One of them said that the kids are quite fresh. Another one said that they have been very rebellious. He called them trash. Their comrade told them that they sell better if they are livelier. While the bandits were carrying out their usual operations, someone knocked on their gate. One of them quickly opened a small opening in the door. He saw the face of the man who received our boy's punch. The man said that he brought drinks. He asked the guard to open the gate quickly. The guard asked him about why he is so late. He told him that he has been gone for ages. He opened the gate and asked him if he brought back something awesome. The moment he said this, he received a punch from Van on his face. Our boy threw away the head of the man who he beat up earlier. He pushed the guard inside and crushed his head. The other guard raised his mace and swung it at Van. Our boy blocked it with his hand. The man swung his mace at Van multiple times. He called him a bastard and asked him about where he crawled out from. Van easily dodged his attacks and moved closer to him. He clenched his fist and covered it with his energy. He asked the man to shut up. He gave him a bone-shattering blow and destroyed part of their gate. The bandits all turned to the gate when they heard a loud sound. They saw Van walking towards them with the head and body of their comrades. He called them insignificant pests that have gathered to play bandits. He threw the head and body of their comrades in front of them. He asked them about where their leader is. He said that he wants to talk to him. The bandits took out their weapons. They wondered if our boy has lost his mind. One of them asked him if he knows where he is. A huge man wearing a fur coat asked them to step back. One of them turned to the man who turns out to be their leader and assured him that they can handle the situation. Digiol called him an idiot and asked him if he wants to lose his life. He said that our boy is a sorcerer born with runecraft like him. He asked his subordinate to step back. He asked Van to tell him what he wants from him. Van reminded him that he did a job for a sorcerer in the Zoe Kingdom 5 years ago. The meeting was arranged by a mercenary known as Kezarak. Digiol was impressed that Van was able to get this much information out of his subordinates. He asked our boy about what he wants. Van pointed at him and asked him to tell him where Kezarak is. He assured him that he will spare them if he does this. The man told him that he will tell his corpse where Kezarak is. Immediately he said this. He covered his hand with his energy and gave Van a very powerful punch on his face. The attack sent Van flying. Digiol told our boy that he should try hiding his magic power that is covered in killing intent if he is going to lie that he will spare them. The moment he said this, his body completely transformed. Digiol has the blade rune. It gives him the ability to cover his entire body with sharp and hard blades. The bandit told Van that he is going to die there. Our boy already knew that he couldn't get through to the bandits with a conversation. He stood up and glared at the man with a scary look in his eyes. Immediately he did this. Van appeared in front of Digiol in an instant. He gave him a bone-crushing punch in his chest. The man spat out a large amount of blood. Van quickly gave him another punch. He asked Digiol if he is only this strong. The man grit his teeth out of anger. He called Van a bastard. He clenched his fist and swung it at Van. He asked him to die. Our boy easily dodged his attack by moving back. Digiol called him a rat bastard. He put his arms together and began to spin at a crazy speed. He fired his blades at Van. He told him that he won't go easy on him anymore just because he is a young sorcerer. Digiol watched as his blades hit Van. He asked him about how it feels to have his body torn apart. He believed that our boy won't be able to take a single step forward. To his surprise, Van was walking towards him. He asked our boy about how he is able to move. He asked him if he doesn't know pain. Our boy slowly covered himself in his armor. He asked Digiol not to make him laugh. He completely covered himself in his armor and said that this kind of itch can't be called pain. Digiol stopped spinning when he heard this. He gathered all his blades into his right hand and created a huge hand. He asked our boy to try to take this. Van knew that this would only peel off his skin a bit. He felt like the attack was too shallow. The level of pain it could cause was too shallow. The swamp of pain Van fell into wasn't this weak. He clenched his fist and thrust it at Digiol's fist. Unfortunately for Digiol, our boy's punch was just too powerful. His attack crushed his hand and destroyed his upper body. It destroyed everything behind him and tore through the forest. The impact of his attack cleared the sky. After he was done with Digiol, our boy turned around. He told the bandits that they need to pick up from where they left off. The men knew that they were dead. At sunset, we see several bodies lying on the ground. They all had a weapon sticking out of them. Van was sitting on the bodies. The last bandit alive informed him that Kezarak is in the Nordia Kingdom. Our boy asked him if he is certain. The man said that he is sure of it. He asked Van if he will spare him as promised. Van asked him if he promised to spare him. While shaking, the man told him that he did earlier. Van laughed and told the man that he was joking. The man nervously laughed. He said that he will take his leave. Van crushed his neck before he could move. With a scary look on his face, he told the man that he was joking when he said that he would spare him. He asked him about what he is laughing at. Later in the night, we see Van in new clothes. He was staring at something. He said that he would like to invade the Zoe Kingdom. He said that he will meet Kezarak even if it takes some time. He told the thing that he will confirm things by himself. He asked Linda and his in-laws to wait a little longer. He said that he created a little present to appease them. He asked them to manage the present even if they don't like his artistic sense. The thing our boy was looking at was a cross he made out of the bandits' bodies. Van took out a torch. He told his family that their revenge is just starting. The moment he said this, he threw the torch at the bodies and turned around. He decided to go to the Nordia Kingdom. The scene shifts, and we are taken to the Nordia Kingdom. We see Van beating someone in the alley of Guild Street. The person told him that Anna Dalton will know. Van told the man that he should have said this earlier. He thanked him for the information and walked past the numerous people he beat up. Our boy tore the members of the gang apart. Now he needed to find out where Anna Dalton is. He knew that he couldn't afford to waste his time because there was no guarantee that what happened yesterday won't happen again today. The scene shifts, and we are taken to the day before. We see Van releasing a large amount of energy from his body. Our boy screamed out in pain as his energy poured out of his body. Van did not expect his magic power to be running wild. Nothing happened when he was locked up yesterday. Magic power is an unknown particle that cannot be seen with the naked eye, but it exists across the universe. The people who accumulate this magic power floating in the air within their body and manifest the ability of runecraft through the accumulated magic power are known as sorcerers. In other words, a sorcerer's body is a vessel that holds magic power. If this magic power runs wild within the sorcerer's body, the sorcerer could die. Van knew that his body could explode if his magic power continues to run wild. He realized that he must seal his magic power to stop the rampage. He placed his hand on his chest and slowly dragged his magic power back into his body. He was able to successfully take it back inside him. He fell to the ground and began to breathe heavily. He did not think that he would almost die. The scene shifts, and we are taken to the present. We see Van thinking about how he now has a very small amount of magic power. He knew that he could experience worse things other than his hair burning if he continues to abuse his magic power. In order to gain full access to his magic power, our boy decided to find out why the rampage happened in the first place. He realized that he needed to manage the small amount of magic power he had. While he was thinking, someone stood in front of him. Van asked the huge man to get out of the way. He said that he needs to pass. The huge man, whose name is Charlotte Jenny, told our boy that Madame Anna Dalton is currently using this place. He asked him to go back. Van told the man that he should have said this earlier. With a scary look on his face, he said that he has found the right place. He gave Charlotte a punch on his face. The man spat out some blood and fell to the ground. Van apologized to him and asked him to sleep for a while. He went into the building, which turns out to be a bathhouse. He saw 3 men wearing a blindfold standing in front of a big hot spring. The men were surprised to see him. The woman inside the hot spring also did not expect to see him. She wondered about what Charlotte was doing. She asked Van if he won't get out. Van carefully moved his hand. He told the woman that he is looking for a mercenary named Kezarak. He said that he heard someone there knows the man. The woman found it amazing that someone would go around calling Kezarak by name. She called Van a brat and told him that he is going to die without anyone knowing. Due to her reaction, our boy was certain that he had found the right person. He asked her to tell him everything about Kezarak. The woman laughed and called Van a crazy bastard. She ordered her men to rip his mouth off and bring it to her. The woman smoking a pipe is Anna Dalton. She is the #1 information broker in Nordya Kingdom. Her men accepted her order and released their magic powers. They began to transform. Their bodies became much bigger and stronger. It got covered with fur. The men transformed into werewolves with 5 eyes. They charged at Van together. Our boy slowly removed the cloth he tied around his hand to hide the lines on his body. He said that he wanted to talk about it. He didn't know why people make things hard every time. He dodged one of the wolves' attack and gave him a punch on his head. He gave another one a powerful blow in his stomach. The attack sent the werewolf flying. Immediately he did this. The 3rd werewolf attacked him for the side. Our boy dodged the attack. The werewolf's hand hit the wall. Another one tried to hit Van from the side. Our boy was able to dodge it by moving back. He covered his hand with his energy and raised his head up to see the 2 werewolves. He charged at them at a crazy speed and attacked them with a bone-crushing punch. His punch obliterated the werewolves and created a huge hole in the building. Van turned to Anna and asked her if she wants to have a peaceful conversation now. The woman did not expect him to be a sorcerer. She revealed to him that Kezarak is not there anymore. Our boy asked her about where he went to. Anna referred to him as a punk and told him that she is someone who sells information for a living. She explained to him that she can't tell him anything until she gets paid. Van asked her about how much she wants. Anna stood up and asked him about why he is suddenly acting sensible. Van explained to her that he is not a murderer. He said that he killed those men because they were trying to kill him. He told her that he is ready to pay a fair price if she can provide him the right information. Anna revealed to him that information about Kezarak and his current whereabouts will cost him 10,000 gold. She said that this is a fair price for the information. Van was surprised to hear the amount. He said that this is a lot of money. He told the woman that he did not expect it to be this expensive. Anna gently cleaned her hands. She told Van that she can't share any information with him if he cannot pay her. Our boy turned around and asked her to wait patiently. Anna was surprised to hear this. She asked him if he has a way to make the money. She asked him about why he is looking for Kezarak. She asked him if Kezarak killed his family. Van opened the door and asked her to mind her own business. With a scary look on his face, He told the woman that he might be forced to tear her mouth apart. He shut the door and left the building after saying this. Anna smiled and said that he is so scary. In the next scene, we are taken to Mercenary Street. We see Van register himself as a mercenary. He asked the attendant about when he can get started. The attendant, who appears to be a being from a different race, explained to Van that mercenaries get a lot of work, but it takes time for rookies to get anything because experienced veterans are assigned jobs first. Although it might take some time for him to gather the money he needed, our boy was ready to wait. He already needed a legit way to make a lot of money. He had actually thought of threatening Anna to get the information he needed, but he could sense that the woman was not ordinary. Van didn't see the need in increasing his enemies. He remembered that his auntie Kara always advised him to make money through legit means. While Van was thinking, a girl wearing a hood approached the front desk and said that she wants to make a request. She said that she needs a mercenary with no experience. The man pointed at Van and said that he is a new mercenary who just registered now. The girl quickly turned to him. She asked Van about who he is. Our boy told her that he is the rookie who just registered. The girl said that her request is simple. She took off her hood and showed her beautiful face. She told Van that she simply wants him to take responsibility for one night. This girl is Leonati. She is 18 years old. The attendant and Van were surprised to hear what she said. Our boy turned to the side and called her a crazy woman. The attendant advised her to go to a brothel if she needs such services. Audie told them that it is a misunderstanding. She explained to Van that she is trying to hire an escort. Our boy walked forward and ignored her. Audie asked him to make a decision after hearing the compensation. Van told her that he hates the fact that his employer is already out of her mind. A huge fat man approached Audie and told her that he will take the job. He asked her about how much she wants to pay. Audie revealed to him that the pay is 10,000 gold. Van stopped walking when he heard this. Audie apologized to the man and told him that she can't hire a veteran with a well-known face like his. The man assured her that he is better than a rookie. Audie declined his offer. The man grabbed her hands and told her that he is better than Van. The woman asked him to let her go. The man was annoyed to hear this. He called her a frustrating young woman and told her that she should be thankful he is offering to take the job. Van moved close to him and referred to him as trash. He asked him to take his hands off the woman. The man was surprised to hear this. With a serious look on his face, Van referred to him as filthy trash and asked him to get his hands off his precious employer's body. The scene shifts and we are taken to a forest. We see some masked people burning some civilians. A man begged them to spare his son, but the men didn't listen. They burnt all of them alive. After they were done, they moved close to their leader. One of them informed him that it is just a peasant house. He said that the peasants don't have anything valuable. He told his boss that they will still be able to make some money if they sell the organs of the peasants. The man from a different race asked his subordinate to do as he wishes. He asked him about the job they took yesterday. He asked him if they will be snatching a daughter of the Leon household. The man told him that he is correct. The leader asked him to pick the 3 best men and keep them on standby. With a smile on his creepy face, the leader asked the man to hang the young boy he tortured. The boy was bleeding from every part of his body, and he had wires sticking out of him. The subordinate said that he will have the men on standby immediately. The leader asked him not to do it again. He activated his rune and used it to raise the man. While struggling to gain control of his body, the man asked his leader, whose name is Merkel, if he did something wrong. Merkel told him that he did nothing wrong. He said that the boy he played with is not enough to satisfy him. He smiled with his razor-sharp teeth and told the man that it will be perfect if he dissects him and hangs him next to the boy. The man screamed out in pain. The scene shifts and we see Van eating some steak. Audie was sitting in front of him. She seemed to be worried. She slammed her hand on the table. Van did not know why she did this. He asked her if the food does not suit her taste. Audie was shocked to hear this. She asked him about how he can swallow food like that. She asked him to stop using a person as a chair. Our boy was using the fat man that he beat up earlier as a chair. He asked Audie if she doesn't want to try using the man as a chair too. The woman said that she doesn't. She asked Van to let him go. She remembered how Van easily beat up the man. Our boy kicked him several times and asked him not to splash his bodily fluid on his precious employer. Audie had to be the one to hold him back. She told him that the man was going to die. The man begged our boy to spare him. Although our boy was rough, he was a skilled newbie with no paper trail. He was the perfect mercenary that Audie needed. Van got a chair and sat properly. He said that his other chair was comfy. Adi asked him not to treat people like objects. Our boy decided to get to business. He asked Adi about how far he has to take her as an escort. The woman told him that he is guarding her to the border of the Awana kingdom. She said that they will cut through the forest so that they can get there in a day. Van found it odd that she would spend 10,000 gold on a simple escort. He told the woman that he has a bad feeling that this ties to something dangerous. He glared at her and said that this might involve some powerful house or a fugitive. He asked her to share her identity with him. Adi revealed to him that she is the daughter of a somewhat wealthy man. She said that her father dotes on her a lot. Van wasn't convinced. He moved his face close to hers to see if she was lying. Adi told him that she can hire someone else if he is really suspicious. Our boy quickly moved away from her. He told her that he can never be suspicious of his precious employer. Adi was shocked to see how his attitude changed. Van asked her about when she would like to leave. Adi said that it will be good to leave early. Van told her that they can go now. Adi was surprised to hear this. Our boy said that he doesn't want to waste his client's valuable time. Adi did not expect to hear this. In the next scene, we are taken to the Gassiolso Mountains. We see our boy and Adi walking through the forest. The woman mentioned that they are halfway through the forest. Adi was relieved to see that everything was going well. She wondered if she even needed to hire a mercenary. The moment she thought of this, Van asked her to stop. Adi was surprised to hear this. She asked him if something is wrong. Van asked her to be quiet. He could feel magic power in the area. Magic power is also known as mana. Our boy closed his eyes and focused on his senses. He could feel the energy of 3 people sprinting towards them. He quickly realized that they were 4. He could sense Merkel's presence. He was certain that the man was dangerous. Merkel sensed Van's presence. He raised his hand and told our boy that peeking is bad. He fired an attack at him. Van quickly opened his eyes. He grabbed Adi and jumped back. Merkel ordered his men to capture the Leon family's daughter. Adi asked Van about what happened. Our boy explained to her that it was simply a warning shot. He said that the real one is coming. The moment he said this, he turned to the side. He saw Merkel's men coming towards them. 2 men attacked Van with their blades. Our boy blocked the attacks with his hands. The 3rd man quickly moved close to Adi. He wanted to grab her. Van sensed his presence. He pushed the other 2 back and gave the man a heavy kick in his chest. The kick crushed his body. The man fell to the ground and lost consciousness. The other 2 assassins quickly swung their blades at Van. Our boy dodged it and grabbed Adi. He moved back with her. After creating some distance between them, Van turned to the men. He removed the cloth on his hands and asked Adi not to move under any circumstances. He released his energy when he said this. Adi became nervous. She accepted his order. Van asked the men if they are bandits. One of them asked Van to leave Adi and back away quietly. He promised to let him go if he does this. Our boy smiled and told the man that he will leave if he pays him 10,000 gold. The man called him a fool. The man and his comrade charged at Van. The men swung their blades at him at a crazy speed. Van blocked their attacks and kept up with their speed. He was still able to attack them. The men made their attacks faster, but our boy was still able to keep up. He blocked their attacks without getting a cut on his body. Van carefully moved back after testing the men. One of them said that he was worried that he would be a sorcerer. He told Van that he is just a brat. Our boy released his energy and said that he was just being careful. He told the men that he didn't expect them to be so stupid. Immediately he said this, he appeared in front of them and gave them several punches at a ridiculous speed. He gathered his energy in his fist and gave them a bone-crushing punch. His punch tore the men apart and blew away the things around them. The men's bodies were completely destroyed. Only their legs were left. Van called them a bunch of clowns. Adi could not believe her eyes. She believed that Van was younger than her. She wondered about how he was this powerful. She knew that her father would be shocked and thrilled if he saw this. The moment she thought of this, someone said that sorcerers often gauge each other's mana because the amount of mana a sorcerer has often matches his skill level. Van was surprised to hear the person's voice. He turned to him and told him that he thought he ran away because he stayed hidden for so long. The person he was talking to was Merkel. Merkel was surprised to see that Van had the same amount of mana as him even though he is just a kid. He wondered if our boy was born with it. He said that he will have to dissect him. With a creepy smile on his face, the crazy man told Van that a sorcerer like him must have amazing organs. Merkel is also known as the Mad Anatomist. He is the leader of the Merkel gang. The gang is involved in murder, human trafficking, kidnapping, and other heinous crimes. Merkel told Van that he will dissect him painlessly if he hands over Adi. Our boy asked him to screw off. Merkel raised his hand and asked him to die. He fired his energy at him. Then called out to Adi. He asked her if she was lying when she called herself an ordinary merchant's daughter. Adi was shocked to hear this. She didn't know what to say. Van asked her to save her excuse. He said that he is not interested in listening to it. He grabbed her clothes and moved her in front of him. Adi was shocked to see what Van did. The attack was about to hit her. She called Van a bastard. Merkel was shocked to see Adi in front of Van. He could tell that our boy was serious about letting her take the hit. Guys, we have come to the end of our video. If you guys want more of this recap, let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button for more recaps. See you guys later.